Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin with Sillage Scents. I have got a video full of clones for you today. And some of these I haven't talked about much, and I've got a ton of fragrances I'm always looking through thinking, man, what do I not talk about? So I tried to pick out some I haven't talked about as much. These are all really good, and they are very cheap. Some of them, compared to the price of the original, really all of them are a fraction of the cost. Some of them are just insane. So these are great clone fragrances that are going to save you a ton of money. So right as we get going here, please subscribe to the channel. And as we get into these, let me know in the comments, do you have any of these? What do you think of them? How do they compare to the original? And what's your favorite clone that you would say is just an insane value? All right, let's go ahead and jump in. The first one I'm going to mention, this is a brand new pickup. I'd seen a little bit of the hype, and I passed it up a couple times. I found it again and thought, man, I've got to get a hold of this. This is Ben Sherman Original Signature, or the original Ben Sherman Signature. And this is an outstanding clone of Tom Ford's ombre leather. It's got a little bit of the fruitiness that's similar to Tuscan leather, but it's very smooth like the ombre leather is. It's a little sweeter and it's a little softer. Now, whenever I say a little, these are slight differences, but what I can tell you is this thing is very similar to ombre leather with a little more sweetness, with a little of the fruitiness that you would find in the opening of Tuscan leather. And this is an incredible fragrance for $10, 50 ml for $10 at Burlington Coat Factory, at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, anywhere like that you find it. I got this one for like $5.25. It was open box, I think. But this is an awesome fragrance. It's got pretty good longevity, probably around the 6 or 7 hour mark, something like that. And it smells amazing. I have Alhambra's amber and leather back there, and I like this one much better. To me, it's much closer and much smoother. So you got to get that one. This next one, this is what I'm looking forward to. You know, we're still a couple months away from the weather warming up, but I'll wear this one around the house sometimes just because I love it so much. This is Club de Nuit Milestone, and this is a clone of Creed's Millesime Imperial. This is a beautiful tropical fruit just explosion. It's got like a sugar note. It's got all kinds of fruit in the opening. It's just a mesmerizing fruity smell. It's also got some ambroxan in there that gives it kind of a sparkly kind of quality. This is an incredible fragrance. It's, you know, longevity-wise, only about 6 hours or so, but it's a fantastic the quality is remarkable, and I'm not the only one who says that. Anyone who's tried the Creed and tried this one is very impressed by the quality. This is another one where a clone uses ambroxan in a way that is really similar to ambergris. So that's a really great one. Let's see, next up, we're going to go with a clone of YSL Y. It's kind of a cross between, it's mostly EDP with maybe a little bit of Y Live, maybe the original Y, but this is Lattafa Fakhar Black. Fakhar Black. It's like F-A-K-H-A-R, I think. But this is a great fragrance. I still like YSL better because there's a certain herbal quality with some of like the sage and some of the green notes that are in the heart of YEDP, and there is some herbaceous notes in this one, but they're not as pronounced. So what you get is a slightly sweeter, just slightly less herbal version of YEDP, and this one is beautiful. I actually recommend that you have both if you already have YEDP. This one's just different enough to make it worth it, and it's incredible. If you like YEDP, you'll absolutely love this one. Next up, let's go with an astonishing clone of Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Now that is a fragrance I absolutely love, but Tom Ford fragrances, even when you find them on sale, you're going to pay a couple $100. This one you can get for $20, Just Jack Noir Endurance. I got mine on Fragrance Buy. I think it was 20 or 22, something like that. It is super close to Noir Extreme. It's incredible. It's this sort of sweet, spicy, gourmand, very slightly floral, very slightly powdery. It's an incredible, sweet, spicy fragrance, a great clone, and a super cheap clone of Noir Extreme by Tom Ford. The next one I'm going to go with, I think I've only mentioned this one once ever. It's a clone of Spice Bomb, but to me, this is like the perfect spring and summer clone of Spice Bomb. This is Beverly Hills Polo Club Blaze. This is one of those super cheap rack store finds. You can get a $10 pack that'll have like this plus the aftershave or something like that, a good mix. And this one is very close to Spice Bomb, except you remove the tobacco, some of the sort of heavier, thicker quality of Spice Bomb, and you get more the sort of fresh spice with a little bit of citrus, a little bit of fruitiness in there. And this is a very good clone of Spice Bomb, and it is ridiculous cheap, just stupid cheap, $10. I think this is a 50 ml. It might even be 100 ml, but it smells awesome. And I think it's even a little more appropriate for the warmer weather than Spice Bomb, although I actually wear Spice Bomb in warm weather. I just dial down the sprays a little. All right, the next one, this one's gotten a ton of hype. It's one that you have to watch for if you want to get it at a good price. This is an amazing clone of Parfums de Marly. They're probably #1 seller, Leighton. And this is Al Haramain Detour Noir. The paint's kind of chipping off the front of mine. But I love Leighton. You know, sort of dark, spicy vanilla. You know, this almost edible sweetness, almost gourmand kind of sweetness with some spiciness. It's absolutely amazing. And this is very close to the Parfums de Marly. And I think I got this for about $30 on Fragrance Buy, maybe $32. But whenever you can find it in stock, and keep an eye out on Chaos Fragrances community tab. He updates it all the time. And you can find this one in Al Haramain Detour Noir, an awesome Leighton clone. This next one, this is another one I see at the rack stores all the time. And it is a really great clone of a fragrance that it has been a hype beast ever since it came out. And that is this one right here, Versace Eros, except this is Guess 1981. And so this is a slightly more ambery, very slightly more dark version of Versace Eros. It is a beautiful, you know, minty sweet vanilla, again with a slight darkness that matures it just a little bit. I think makes it even more suitable for fall and for winter. It's an awesome fall fragrance, and you can get this Guess 1981 Los Angeles for $20 at the rack stores all day long. Even Amazon will have it in around that price range, around $20. It's an awesome pickup. Next up, let's go with, this is an Alexandria fragrance. I'm not affiliated with them. This isn't sponsored or anything like that, but I have like a dozen of their fragrances. I find them to be accurate. They usually perform pretty good. I have found some exceptions to that, but they're just great clones, and they're clones of niche fragrances, although I think this one was $39. It's a clone of a fragrance you can't get for less than about $180. This is African Magic, and it is a phenomenal clone of African Leather by Memo. This is leather and cardamom, the most beautiful, sweet, spicy leather fragrance you can imagine. My wife doesn't like leather fragrances, but she really likes this one. The way the cardamom and some other spices and the sweetness mix with that leather It's amazing, and it's a powerful fragrance as well. It's got good projection. The longevity, you know, I think Memo's like a 12-hour fragrance. This is probably more like a 7-hour fragrance, but African Magic, an awesome clone of a niche fragrance that you just can't find cheap. Next up, let's go with another clone of a Tom Ford fragrance. This one is a clone of Black Orchid, and I got the 50 ml on Amazon for $10. This is Oud 24 Hours. Oud 24 Hours. I've got like 4 of the fragrances from this line. They're all cheap and they're all really good clones of whatever they're emulating. But Black Orchid is a floral fragrance, you know, really marketed to women, but guys have been wearing it forever. It's a dark, sweet, spicy, kind of chocolatey floral fragrance. And this one right here for $10 for a 50 ml, you can get something that's very close. I don't own the Tom Ford, but I have smelled it, and I've sprayed it on a couple times. And from my memory, and it's not been that long since I've worn it, just within the last month, this is a really good clone. And again, $10 is absolutely crazy for these fragrances. Check out on Amazon. And my final one of this video, this is a clone of kind of a mix of the high-end iris fragrances. So like Dior Homme Intense, I had somebody tell me that it's actually closer to Dior Homme Parfum, which I still haven't smelled. I wanted to buy that so bad around Christmas when I had some extra money and I couldn't find it in stock anywhere. But if you were to take like Dior Homme Intense, Givenchy, EDP, and let's see, what's the other big Irish fragrance? The Givenchy, the Dior, and Valentino Uomo Intense. I had a blank for a second. This is Odyssey Homme. This is an Armaf fragrance. I think one of the best Armaf fragrances. Odyssey Homme. There's a white one that is a different fragrance, obviously. This is the one in the black bottle. It's an EDP. It comes in this weird kind of canteen kind of bottle. But I think it's about a $25 fragrance. Maybe it was more like $29. But this is an incredible iris, leathery, kind of vanillic or ambery, slightly spiced, beautiful iris fragrance. I love those thick iris fragrances, but any one of those, even if you catch a good sale on the Givenchy, you're still going to pay about $80. And this one for less than $30, you do get a fragrance that takes pieces of each of those fragrances and puts them together, and it's beautiful. The sillage on this thing, the hang time is amazing. The scent cloud you're going to have around you is absolutely amazing. You'll smell it strong for 4 or 5 hours, and that's with like 4 or 5 sprays. So you don't have to overspray this one, and it will give you powerful performance. So I think that was all 10. I've got a bunch of other clones and a bunch of other cheap fragrances. I'm a father of 4 and I work a whole lot of hours, and I'm not going to be blowing money on a fragrance that, you know, for $200 if I can get something pretty close for $30 with a few rare exceptions to that. And so I'll be on the lookout for great deals like that for you. Keep coming back and checking in. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know down in the comments which ones of these do you have and what would you add to the list. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.